Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Russians launched another massive drone attack on Ukraine on the night of 15th to 16th of December 2023. So this is in the morning hours of Saturday. I have here 4 articles and 1 map, and I will give you details on this attack. So there's 31 drones. Guess how many Ukraine claims it downed? Well, let's dive into this and see how many they did. Ukrainska Pravda. Russians launched 31 drones on Ukraine at night, Saturday, 16 December 2023. The Russian invaders again attacked Ukraine on the night of 15 to 16 December using 31 Shahed UAVs. Ukraine Air Force has confirmed that 30 out of 31 drones were downed. Almost perfect. They said the Russians attacked from Primorsko-Akhtarsk, Sechcha, and Kursk from Russia. A total of 30 drones were destroyed in Dnipropetrovsk, Kiev, Vinnytsia, Chernihiv, Sumy, Poltava, Cherkasy, Kherson, Zaporozhye, Mykolaiv, and Khmelnytsky Oblast. Holy moly macaroni. So we have Dnipropetrovsk, Kiev, Vinnytsia. All right, let's see what those are. So Vinnytsia right here, Kiev here, Dnipropetrovsk right here. So far, and I know I saw that Chernihiv right here, Sumy, so that's all this right here. All right, let's see what else it did here. This did Kherson, Mykolaiv, and Khmelnytsky, and Poltava. So we have here, Mykolaiv is right down here in the south, right? Vinnytsia here, Khmelnytsky is right here, and this is where the Ukrainians have that airfield where the, I think it's the MiG-25 that carries was modified to carry the Storm Shadow missiles and Scalp, the French ones. So this, and then you got Cherkasy right here, Poltava. So basically everywhere on this up to here, to the Polish and Hungarian side. I'm just kidding, not. So that is according to this article, but we have more than this. And they started they launched their attacks from these 3 locations. Let's see where those are. So Primorsko-Akhtarsk is right here. This is right here by Sea of Azov, across from it, so far away from the front, so in this area. Then you have Kursk, which is right here, northeast area, and the other one, which one was it? Sechcha. Let's find out where that is. So we found that one. Here's an air base, actually. It's in Bryansk Oblast in Russia, and then on the big map is right here. Bryansk is right here by Belarus, so it's right in this position, around this where Sechcha, this is the airfield somewhere here. If you look over this, right on the tip of the oblast, so that is right here somewhere. All right, we got that covered. Now let's go to the other article that I have here ready, and this is from Ukrinform. They say MENA FN, 30 Russian combat drones destroyed over Ukraine. They give the same information here. They say they destroyed 30 out of 31, and they talk about this one. Commander-in-Chief of the Joint Forces of the Armed Forces of Ukraine mentioned that within the northern operational zone, the enemy attempted to strike military and civilian objects with the Shahed drones in the Kiev and Chernihiv direction. So this guy started about Kiev and Chernihiv, and says all enemy targets were destroyed. 8 out of 14 drones were intercepted within the northern operational zone by Ukrainian mobile fire teams equipped with heavy machine guns, man-portable air defense systems, and anti-aircraft guns. So that's with that. I got two more articles. So let's see what they say. Here is the new voice of Ukraine from 3 hours ago. Kiev faces 6th Russian attack in December. indeed, the Russians increased their drone and missile attack on Kiev in this month. So, let me just go continue this. They're going to give us a summary. Back then, judging by the weapons used, the enemy seems to have returned to the tactics of May 2023. The message reads, back then the Russians were frequently switched up, combining and alternating their means by types of aerial attack capabilities. So basically, they switch with strike UAVs, cruise missiles from strategic bombers, Iskanders, Kinzhals fly at Kiev in rotation, replacing each other. So they keep, like a beautiful, diverse bouquet of missiles or attacks. After 3 days of ballistic threats, the Russian military once again launched Shahed barrage munitions at the city. UAVs attacked in groups, in waves, and from different directions. All enemy targets were destroyed by air defense. Great, great. And I'm quoting, the enemy has intensified airstrikes on the main city of our country. Therefore, I ask, beep, 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 4 air raids right here. Alerts were declared in Ukraine in connection with the takeoff of MiG-31K fighters on December 14th. The Air Force said announced the launch of X-47 Kinzhal missiles in the direction of Kiev. Basically destroyed everything. Starokonstantinov, Khmelnytsky Oblast and Sumy Oblast explosions were also heard in Dnipropetrovsk Oblast. A ballistic missile from Russia, Bryansk Oblast, takes only 1 or 2 minutes to reach Kiev. Air Force spokesman Yuri Ihnat said in an interview with Radio New Voice. But here, you see, if from Bryansk it takes 1 or 2 minutes to reach Kiev, then you understand why Bryansk is right here, right? From here to reach Kiev. Now you understand why the Russians did not want NATO in Ukraine, because NATO will bring right here in Chernihiv and Sumy its missiles, and from here it's going to take what, 2 minutes to reach Moscow? Right here, I just calculated that, about 2 to 3 minutes to reach it. I mean, from Bryansk right here to reach Moscow is a minute, between a minute. From then from the border here to reach Moscow here, that takes what, 2 minutes? Instead of being deployed, let's say, bad as it is for the Russians, obviously, deployed in Poland right here, or Romania. So it's still, the Russians have a reaction time of, let's say, 3 minutes, about 3 minutes to react from Moscow. So now you understand why the Russians did not want NATO around, and their concerns were just ignored with good reason. Why? Because this garbage had to start in Ukraine. So when the Russians told them, if you, NATO, get into Ukraine, you're going to be destroying us. So why would we want that? Oh, because we're good. We wouldn't do that. Because we keep our promises. So the Russians said, okay, this is the red line, that's it. And they knew it. That's why they said, you know what? We don't care about your national security concerns. Remember, Ukraine borders Russia. And these guys would move installations, military installation in Ukraine. And still would ignore Russia's concerns. So next time is going to be in Moscow, the American nuclear bombs or something. So on the other hand, the United States considers its national security all over this planet. Whenever they feel like, they designate it. That's a national security, that's a national security, and they intervene everywhere. But these guys told them, this is our neighbor right here. No, you shouldn't have. We disregard your concerns. So you see how this works? So when they say unprovoked Russian attack on Kiev, why don't you take this into consideration? These guys move their missiles closer to Russia's border, next door. And the Russians are supposed to do what? To fall asleep? Do you think these missiles moved towards Russia are peaceful missiles? Are defensive missiles? You can call them defensive, but if you bring them over there, don't you bring the Russia's reaction time to whatever missiles NATO could potentially launch? It halves. So it's 50% shorter. So yeah, there's only one reason why when these guys say unprovoked Russian attack on Ukraine sounds idiotic, because it is infantile. But what do you want? That's the audience. You always package you prepare your speeches or your garbage or statements according to the public, to your audience. If the audience is dumb, then you speak like a dumbass. If the audience you figured out is a little bit more sophisticated, you start giving certain hints and you tap their intelligence, right? You excited. That's why some people, a group of people, like to listen to certain kind of lectures. For them, that's like for a thug would be, I don't know, smacking someone or doing something, a criminal act. That's their kick. For others, intellectual kick comes from understanding, using their intelligence. But hey, what do they know? They know that because they know who they're talking to, right? So it says here, overnight on December 12 to 13, the Russian forces fired 10 ballistic missiles at Kiev. All targets were shot down by defense forces. Well, as you know, this war is a profit war for for at least three branches, and these are the profiteers: energy sector, finance sector, and military industrial complex sector. These three. So look how much money these guys invested into the US political system, and you're going to figure out maybe they have something to do with this lucky strike coming from the Russians' unprovoked attack on Ukraine, and we have to intervene. Therefore, beautiful profits for these profiteers. Always were, always will be. So next and last article comes from Ukrinform. Ukraine's air defense units destroy all enemy targets attacking capital last night. So they tell us that Russian combat drones were attacking the city of Kiev in waves from different directions, and Ukraine's air defense units destroyed all of them. And there are the details. The 6th air attack on Kiev since the beginning of the month. After 3 days of ballistic threats, last night the enemy again targeted the capital with the Shahed-type loitering munitions. The combat drones were attacking in groups, waves, and from different directions. The air defense forces and systems destroyed all enemy targets. And then the breeze just did some damage like the drones hit their targets. But hey, be a dumbass and believe that. So here it is, my friends, an update on the latest Russian massive attack on Ukraine. It seems like you've been everywhere, including Kiev, everywhere. As I said, not on the Polish Hungarian side, which is the western part of Ukraine. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.